everyone. This is Elizabeth. Thank you for joining me today. I am going to try and get this better in frame. Ugh, sorry. I think that was my problem. I think my glass mat, it was dusty under the glass mat. Get that right about there. My 8.5 by 11 paper doesn't want to fit in the frame. Let's try this. How's that look? All right, so get everything. I want it to look good. I think I'm gonna have to change this up. Maybe. Where's the bottom of my paper? That works. Okay, so I just finished a live where I used blue, green, and purple, and this time I'm doing a greenish, bluish purple, or greenish blue with a I don't know how to describe it. It's a purpley color. It's a reddish purple. And I'm going to use these two colors and I'm going to cake it onto my paper, and then I'm going to use my foil quill again, which it should probably let warm up while I'm yammering. I'm going to plug it in, make sure the light comes on, and I'm going to point it away from me while it warms up, because I don't want to accidentally bump into that. And what I'm going to do is, in my live, I used my ink blending brush. This gives a super soft effect. I want a nice bold effect. So I'm going to get my triple berry blender. And I think I need a new one for tropical. Nope, tropical tango right there. And these are not your typical foam or spongy blenders. These are a foam. It's a compressed foam. So mine are different than most. These were by Brie Reese. They are hard to find. I bought the last 2 packs on Amazon that I could find. But they do go on much richer with a blending tool such as this. And just like my ink blending brush, I'm going to start off and then work my way on. Okay. I'm going to start off and work my way on. And I am going to build up color because that's what I want. I want more color. I'm going to leave a little bit of just go on willy-nilly. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. Because I'm going to go over it with some foil quill and some linear pattern to try and kind of make an interesting plaid type effect. Not a true plaid because my colors are going in a blended format. Okay. Ugh, look at that. And I do want to leave some white space so that my purple color goes on in its purest form in those white spots. Isn't that just gorgeous? I got these little bits everywhere. Something. Okay. And if you make a boo-boo and your color kind of leaves marks, just go over your marks. It'll blend in. No biggie. Okay. And then I'm going to soften this up here. Okay. So that one is that color. Get back into frame. Now we're going to go in with some Triple Berry, which is a purpley color. Okay. Look at that. And just let them get a little bit of happiness going on in there. And these marks is from me pushing. You can see I got ink up there because I pushed sideways instead of trying to keep it flat. I'm just going to get that off of there a little bit. Try and keep your ink blending tool flat. Let those colors sit on top of each other, mix with each other, get happy. Like right here, I got that green super dark. Just look at that. Almost look tie-dyed. Isn't that pretty? It's not meant to be difficult. We just want to lay down some color. And I got ink on my fingers. So I'm just going to rub it away. Just like that. Joys of ink blending. You can get rid of most of your boo-boos, because you can always go darker. Look at that. Look at how deep those colors get. I want these nice and dark, not like my last ones. My last ones were super light so that all my stamping would show up. But I have some silver I'm going to add. So I think the silver against a dark background is going to look beautiful. All right, how does that look? Get this closed up. Ooh, let's add some water drops because it's a water-based ink, and you know what that means. I don't want to add too much because it's gonna poof up my paper. Just look at that. Oh yes. See, it gives it this nice, oops. Come on, are we focusing? Nice little texture. Ugh, these little, it's just fabulous. Okay, so I'm gonna clean up my mess. How do we clean up a mess, my friends? See, these are the colors I used earlier. The purples, the blues, the greenish color. I'm gonna add this right to it. Oh yes. Look at that. Nice, beautiful color smooshing. Tap, lift, and twist. Tap, lift, and twist. Get it all nice and cleaned up. Oh, look at that. I could stamp this right now with stamps, and it would be beautiful. Okay, so we're going to clean up any leftover water or ink that we might have missed, because the Simon Hurleys, they look invisible sometimes, and you think, oh, there's nothing there, but there is actually color right there. It's fabulous. And I like these blending tools. I just love them. That one's ready to get put away. Okay, so I need to grab, this is my metal foil quill mat. It is by We Are Memory Keepers. It is for the foil quill. When I first bought it, I didn't use it for the foil quill. I didn't even have the foil quill. I was using it to hold down projects for stamping and stuff before I bought the stamping platform. And it works really great because their magnets are wonderful. So wonderful, I can't pick them up. Okay, so I know that I am going to have a little bit of trimming to do. So I don't need a foil all the way up to the edge. But I've got my foil quill foil, okay? If you're new to foiling and your foiling system is the Mink / laminator foiling, do not buy foil quill. This is hot foil. There is glue embedded in this foil, so all I have to do is get it hot and it will stick. If you run this through the Mink, it will stick everywhere. Now, you can use it in the Mink system. Say like you run this through the Cricut or your design space with the foil quill tools, and you leave really beautiful waste paper. You know that the images are gone, but it's still a really beautiful pattern. You get toner paper. You put this down on your toner paper and send it through, and it will have a perfect foil. But this is not recommended if you have fine, like a saying that you just printed. Don't use this because you'll have foil everywhere. But it won't be like a solid. It's weird, okay? You'll have tons of overfoiling. But this is going to be fabulous with our foil quill, because all that beautiful glue is embedded in there and will be golden. Okay, so there's the edge of my paper somewhere in there. Okay. There's tons of easy ways to do this. You can use your rotary tool. You can use whatever you need to. This is not the best method, but I'm doing it anyways. There we go. Ooh, I probably shouldn't have done that on my metal mat. Don't do that on your metal mat. It'll cut your metal mat. Look, I just made a shaving. My bad. Okay. Ooh. Sometimes I'm not very smart. But other times I amaze myself. Okay. So this goes down right to the edge. Okay. Now I'm going to use one of my magnets, the long magnet, down the long side. And I just want to make sure that I just catch the edge of the paper. Okay. Because I can trim a little bit of the edge if I need to. Okay. Get that on there. Make sure my edge of my paper's on there. Now I'm going to do the other side. Okay. I'm just going to kind of scoop that over. Find the edge of my paper. Oh, it's way over there. That's why we gotta find it, because we're not sure where it's at. So there's Yep, there's the edge of my paper, so this is covering it pretty good. Okay, we can adjust our foil. It doesn't have to be spiggity span perfect. You just want it taut, tight enough that you can do your stuff, okay? I'm going to grab my metal ruler, okay? And I'm going to set that right next to my magnet. Actually, because my paper's under there somewhere. And if these are a little crooked, I'm not going to cry about it. It's a line. It's no big deal, okay? Just like that. Now, this guy's been heating up since we were coloring and everything, and it's good. It's super hot. So hot, this will burn you and scar you if you're not careful, okay? It is so hot that I burnt a hole into my magnet earlier in my live to show you, okay? See, there's a teeny little hole right there. I'll put another one right there, okay? It will melt through. Yes, you can still use this with a stencil because, okay, I'm going to do this, okay? See how it's moving along, okay? It marked it like a scratch, but it's not melting it. So with a stencil, you put your stencil down and you go around. You would go around multiple times, but you're not staying in one spot, okay? When you stay in the one spot, that's when things start to melt. Okay, now I'm using a metal ruler because it's low profile and I'm hoping it works. Okay, so I'm going to start kind of in the middle and go, I'm going to push the foil that way and then I'm going to push it that way. And I'm using even pressure, trying to be, and I just felt it go off the edge. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of overlapping, even pressure, slow it down. It's not a marking pen, so you got to be a little bit slower because you got to heat this up. You got to heat it up so it heats up to the paper, okay? And I'm going to move my ruler over. I'm going to line my ruler right up with the line I just made, okay? And again, start in the middle-ish. Nice, even pressure. Right off the page. Right off the page. And this would be a stencil too. If you want to do it faster, okay, just like that. You can do that with stencil. Just go over it a couple of times. Line this up. It's time consuming, okay? But the rewards are great. This is going to be so pretty. Yes, if you have the I could easily plug this in to my Cricut and do the same thing. Just find a pattern or make a pattern and tell it to draw it with a pen, and it'll think that's a pen and then go and foil it. So you could set this up in your Cricut, okay? I think you need this mat. I've never done it through the Cricut. Have I done it through the Cricut? It might have been a while. But this mat fits right in your Cricut, so it doesn't ruin anything. This metal mat goes right into your Cricut. You can put these on either side of your project so the rollers don't get it, okay? So if I put this right down the center, make sure this is down, okay? Because you know that blade goes across and then it comes down, you just want to make sure that this is out of the way of the blade. So it would hang off the bottom a little bit. These do come in different tips. I don't know if mine is the standard or the fine. I feel like mine might be the fine sometimes. Steady, even pressure. Just like so. This is a lot of fun. Okay. And keep an eye out on online, at your big bot stores, all those places. They do put the foil quill on sale a lot. Especially at Joann's. So let's start down here a little bit. Oh, that's off the page. So that is definitely not lined up very good. But that's okay. Like I said, it's not going to bother me. It's just going to be a little bit of crooked lines. And I can show you how to fix that a little bit. If that really bothers you, you can just, instead of going straight with your next set of lines, go at a seriously hard angle. And it will make your crooked lines not seem so crooked. More intentional. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to move that. I'm going to lift this up. Okay. We're going to see how that took. Oh, look at those fine, beautiful pin lines. Look at that. Which is funny because I guess it is off a little bit there. It was just barely off down here. All right. Super fun. Now I'm going to take my paper. Okay. I'm gonna leave my stripes right on, just like they were. Okay. Because now my lines are gonna go the other way. They're gonna go this way. And this is what I mean. If you go off at an angle, it won't even look like it was a big deal. Where's the edge of that paper? Right there. Okay. Oops, don't move that. There we go. This would probably look way better with the boulder tip, but I don't have the boulder tip. move my magnet down. Catch my ruler. Very easy peasy. Turn it this way. And the nice thing about having it on the mat is you can just turn it to make it easy for you. Move my magnet again, just like so. So you can do any kind of pattern you want. Any stencil you want. You could freehand it and make squiggles. My thumb just got in the way. These kind of almost look like diamonds because I did such a hard angle on the second one. Definitely, if you get the foil quill with your Cricut, just know that Cricut doesn't sponsor that. That's why they came out with their own brand. If the foil quill ruins your Cricut, Cricut will not replace it because they don't want the foil quill in their machines. It is a hot, oops, there was nothing there. It is a hot item, which means do not leave it unsupervised, okay? You never know. Even though I left this on overnight, the first time I had it, it didn't burn down my house. It didn't catch fire or anything. It still works great. But that's not to say it won't happen. Especially if you leave this on overnight in your Cricut, you can melt your housing. I mean, all sorts of things can go wrong. So just give it a check. Make sure everything's looking good. Oh, yes. Look at those beautiful foiled lines. How wonderful is that? Oh, so gorgeous. Now I'm going to unplug this. Okay, and then I'm going to move it away from me because I don't want that to accidentally bump me again. It hurts. So I just set that over there out of the way. If you have little kids running around, definitely put it up and out of the way. You don't want them thinking it's a pin that they can just grab a hold of. Now, this is the waist foil I was talking about. It's not really a waist, okay? You have this pattern in there. If I put this on a toner sheet and ran it through the mink, I would have this shimmery gold or silver design on my whole background. And then in here in the middle would be thin black lines. Okay. I'm definitely going to save this piece. I'm not sure what I'm going to use it for. And even if I cut up a strip, okay, and I put this down, I have all this to do a doodle, okay? There's a lot of usable foil here, so don't throw this away. Or you can. I mean, it's up to you. No biggie. But it's your money. You can do what you want with it. Okay, so let's see what it looks like chopped up. Because, again, like in the live, we want to chop it up. We don't want to save it. We make beautiful backgrounds to make cards, not to save and never use. So as soon as you make your backgrounds, chop it up. Send it through that chopper. I'm going to do 5 1/2. Right in half. I'm going to turn each page 1 turn. And I'm going to do 4 1/4. That's half of the 8. Okay? Same thing. Turn it once. Cut it in half. Cut it in half right there. Just like so. Okay? And then your fun design looks like it was meant to be. I have 4 beautiful panels. I can do anything I want now. And I was looking at these earlier. How fun would that be in the center of that? In the center, on the end, oh yes, right there, just like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my box of scraps, because it's not a very big area. Ooh, I have this heavy scrap. I think that would be pretty. Okay, so I am going to grab my positioner just because this is a larger stamp and I don't want to screw it up. Okay, this is a modified Misty, okay, and modified in that I took off the pink and added green. Okay, I did a little sheet, so if I need, I can, okay. So if you do a sentiment and you don't know if it's going to be straight or not, you stamp it on this, see if it's straight, adjust it, okay? That's what that's for. So I'm going to stamp this right at the bottom because I don't need to waste this paper. I'm going to cut it out. So I'm going to make sure there's enough room that when I go to do my trimming with a little border, I have room to make a border, okay? At this point, you need to know, are you going to color it in? What your material are you going to color it in with? Are you going to use alcohol markers? Use that. Are you going to use watercolor markers? Use that. Okay? I think I'm going to alcohol mine up. I'm going to get my little stamp handle so I don't get ink all over me. Okay? We're going to flip. The Misty is not the Tim Holtz platform. Nice even pressure. Do not stamp with purpose. As Tim says with his. Oops. However, if there's a bow in your table, push in the center. Okay. I'm going to ink that up again because I noticed I missed the spot up there. Okay. Why did that just looks like crap? Okay, gonna stamp. Nice even pressure. Couple of seconds. Okay, you guys are being bad. Right there. Oh, there we go. That looks so much better. And this leaf right there, look at that. That's why the positioner is good, because if you know you have a troublesome stamp, you can fix that. Okay, and that's just a Blue Knight rubber stamp handle. They come with some magnets And that keeps your fingers all clean and out of the way. Now, if you like to do cards all the same, stamp that 4 times. You have 4 card panels. Stamp it 4 times. Color them all at once. I don't particularly do the same for everything. So we're going to do a yellow to purple, right? Because we can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here. I'm going to add some yellow. And we're going to see what it looks like with purple. Not too shabby. Flowers are a good way to use colors that you don't use all the time. Let's be honest, we have our favorites. We have colors that we grab all the time. And then some of those markers, pencils, crayons sit there and they're not getting used. When you do a whole bunch of flowers, grab some of those colors that you don't use all the time. Grab those colors and put them to use. Okay? Yellow is one of those colors I don't use all the time. And yeah, we put it in the center of the flower. Well, mix it up with some purple. See what happens. Mix it with some oranges and some reds. Okay. They're all kind of happy on the color wheel. Oops. A choppy line. And with alcohol markers, the more you go over it, the darker it gets, till it saturates the paper and it doesn't get any darker, okay? Kind of not liking. I like the color it makes when they're blended to go. So we're going to do that. I'm just going to color it all in. But that's okay, because it's still making a really interesting color. I'm liking it. Just not with that much yellow. Kind of makes a brownish color in there. It's kind of pretty. And if you find that it just wasn't good enough to send to your bestie, save that card for somebody that's not so high up on your card making list. You know, we have those people just to say, huh, I made a card. I kind of thought of you. They don't need to know it was because it wasn't your best card and you didn't want to throw it out. They'll be like, oh, wow, they thought of me. Maybe they'll send you something back. Rekindle a relationship. Who knows? Weirder things have happened, right? Okay. So now we know we're just going to go over the whole thing. Remember, alcohol inks, well, most markers, they wick out a little bit. So you don't have to, oops. Don't do that twice. No. Okay, so now we're going to grab a little bit of green to do those leaves. I have another green out. Where'd you go? Here you are. I don't know which green is darker. Okay, so we're going to go over this whole thing in the brighter green. I like to do easy coloring. I don't do the highlighting and stuff unless I feel like it. And most of the time, I never feel like it. There's tons of coloring channels out there that teach you how to do the fabulous uber details. But, you know, I want to make cards. I don't want to spend all day on a card. So I'm just going in the center a little bit just to add some interest. Nothing spectacular. Make my berries red. I don't know if those are berries. And I'm not caring that. I'm going outside the line a little bit. Okay? It's no big deal. Okay. I'm going to go over this black with some yellow. See what that does. Not much. So we'll just color in that little spot. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, then we grab some scissors somewhere because I didn't clean up after my last live. And then we just fussy cut. If you have a scan and cut, you color them all. You send them all through the scan and cut and you cut them all out. Use what you have. I don't have scan and cut. So I do stamp and fussy cut. Woohoo! Doing it old school right here. And around. And woo. Whew. Paper's getting in my way. I'm going to cut that off. I'm going to snip that piece right there. And this goes right back into my white scrap bin. That piece goes in the trash. And this is my card base thickness. It's like 110 accent opaque from Amazon. I'll put a link down below to Nancy Stamp's Amazon shop because I don't have an Amazon shop. And she supports the FSC, so I support her as much as I can. Thunk. Ta-da! So now we have easy peasy coloring. If you don't like the background, okay, just fix it. Look at me. I'm going to come in. Try to pick it up. So I get some color. I don't have to tap it off because I'm going to grab the edge and just flick it in, okay? Now, it may not cover the whole thing in blue where all the white is, And that's not going to bother me. I'm just going to flick in some blue. Just like so. Okay. If you want more blue, by all means, go in with more blue. I think I'm going to just do a light blue. Oh yes. Just like that. Okay. A little bit of ink blending on the edges. And I don't worry about it because this is alcohol. Okay. It's not going to mess anything up. I'm not going in so thick that it's going to mess up the lines either. Oops. Because remember, that's a water-based black line. Now, if I sprayed this with water, yeah, that black is going to go, it's not going to be pretty. Okay. So we're going to do that. Ooh, you know what would be pretty? Metallics, because we have that shimmer in our paper. Let's add a little bit of shimmer to our paper. Amazon, Arteza. Now these are the Arteza metallic half pan. Oops. Get this everywhere. I'm going to use this one because it's pretty. And I'm going to do it light-handed. Just going to add these little moon-shaped swooshies. Okay, right on top of that alcohol, but I'm going to avoid the black. Okay, avoid that black. Okay, now here's where I'm not going to avoid the black. I'm going to come in and pick up some of this yellow. Okay, and I'm going to try not to go outside. Oops, too much water. Okay. And I'm going to go right on top of the black. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay in the black. I'm not going to go outside the black. And then I'm going to pick up any extra color. Okay. Because these Arteza metallics, they do go on black very nicely. So I'm cleaning off my brush. If I have too much, I'm going to clean off my brush. Because I don't want that water outside the black lines. Not for this. Now, if I use Stays On, that would be a different story. I could go willy-nilly all over everything, and that black's not going to go anywhere. But we used Memento. And right there, you can see it kind of bled because I had a little bit too much water right there. Okay. I'm going to let that dry and I'm going to fix that. Now all I'm going to do is grab a fine liner, a Sharpie fine liner. Okay. We're going to make sure that little spot is dry. Okay. Dry that up. Now I'm going to go right on the outer edge of that. Maybe I want to clean this all up. Okay. We're going to go right around the edge. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Because that water did wick out a little bit. And we'll just catch it. Put it back in its place. No big deal. Just like so. Faboo! Faboo! And now we have yellow flowers instead of black flowers. And then we just kissed these little tips. Okay? How fun is that? You could go on further. You could add sequins to the center of these, which actually sounds really good. I'm going to add a little sequin to the center of each one of these. I'm going to change out my tip. I'm going to check the inside of this because the last time I just pulled that through and it made a mess. Oh, I lost my tweezies. No, they fell out of the bucket. Sort of. Okay, so I'm gonna reach in here and grab any stiff glue. There's a little bit of dry glue. Oh, I can feel that glue. Come on. You can see it coming out. There's a lot of glue left in there. It's being difficult, but you definitely want to clean it out, because I pulled the stick through without cleaning it out, and then I had to clean the tip, and it took a little bit. Now, where did that glue go? Ooh, it's being difficult. Okay, maybe I can get it out now. There we go. Just like that. See that little glue ball? Now, because I made it move away from the needle before pulling the needle through, look how that's all nice and clean now. Except that little gooey. Just like that. Okay. So now I can put my detail tip in. And I'm just going to make sure it's not going to come globbing out super fast. I'm going to put a dot in the center there, and a center there. Just in the center. I don't need to fill the whole thing with little jimmies. Now I'm going to get my beautiful gem picker that Miss Stacy sent me. Look at this thing. Gem picker from Stacy and the gems from Chow. Woohoo! Oops. Very light touch. Right into the glue. Very light touch. Right into the glue. No, stick to the glue. Stick to the glue. Yay. Right into the glue. Nope, it didn't stick. There we go. I'm going to use this other end to get some of that glue off, maybe. Put a little too much glue down. Oh, these tiny gems are so darling. Oh, she said they were nail art gems. And I am going to have fun sticking them to my fingers. All right, look at that. Woohoo, little jimmies. Okay, so we're gonna put this right back in here. Just like so. And then we're gonna pick one of our cards and we're just gonna set this on there. Oh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Ugh. Should we do a sentiment on there? I have Hello Spring out. I kind of want to. I'm going to use my Stays On though. Maybe. Should I? I've been having problems with the Stays On. Let's see. Let's see what it does. If it makes a boo-boo, what I'm going to do is just, I'll stamp it again and cover it with a cutout. But here's to making... I'm going to make it go... No, I'm not. I'm going to make it go straight up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Please look good. Oh, yes! Look at that. Oh, how fabulous. Oh, yes. Fabulous, fabulous. And you can pop dot this little guy or have him straight up on your paper. And I think I'll do that. Now, normally I wouldn't use the detail tip to do the gluing of this piece, but I did. It'll be fine. Just like so. And we have our card panel. Now this card panel will fit exactly. I didn't think to trim it down to back it. But you know what? This might look pretty on black. Easy enough. Let's fix it. Okay, we're going to cut off the top. We're going to cut off 1/4 inch. So we're going to do 5 1/4. And then we'll cut off this side. And then we'll do 4. 4, 4, 4. Okay. There we go. And we'll grab a sheet of black. Ooh. Not solid black. Look what I found. That's going to be pretty. Look it, look it. Yeah. All right, let's cut this in half and then in half again. 5 1/2. And then 4 1/4. And let's see. 1 second. All right, so now we've cut this to the full size of this. And I'm going to switch my tips because I'm definitely not going to do all of that with the fine tip. And I take this off and I leave that in there. So all that glue that's in there is going to dry. Okay. And then this one is still wet because we didn't have it out very long. And we just twist that on, pull that out. Is this my black sheet? Yep. Squeaky, squeaky. Boop, boop. As Kathy Zilski says, boop. It's so fabulous. Okay. Get that lined up the best we can. Okay, just like that. Now, you'll know that you're cutting and maybe your card base is actually a hair bigger than the card panel you just made. Okay, so this one, yeah, there's no overhang. So this is just a little bit off. Okay, you can fix that. Okay, you ready to fix that? We just grab some black ink. Grab the black. This is dedicated to black, even though it's blue, it's black. I'm going to hold my card closed. And then I'm just going to pull the ink in. Right off the edge. Okay? And it's catching the white. It's giving us a nice blender look right there. Just clean that up a little bit. Basically, you're inking your edges. Okay. Keep it sandwiched nice and tight. And you tone down that white and it doesn't look so stark. Okay. Just like that. And then you want to go to the side that doesn't have any white, just so it's uniformed. Okay. So now, yeah, we can still see, but to the untrained eye, they won't know the difference. And we have saved that. Now we're going to put some glue on this little back. And if you notice that your glue glops, don't panic. Just give it a little tap and send it somewhere else. Just like that. Okay, now we're going to try and get this in the center the best we can. Working at just the bottom. I'm not looking up there. I'm looking down at the bottom. Because if I get the bottom good, then the top will go into place. And there we have it. A beautiful card. Okay. Granted, the coloring took a little bit, but the background piece, that didn't take hardly any time at all. If you're one that likes to have sentiments and everything cut out, say like you have a bag full of thank yous. You plop a thank you on that, that sucker's done. Maybe you want some black and white splashes. Make this more galaxy. Bam, done. Pop a sentiment on. It's done. You can send it out just like this, okay? You can stamp right on top of this. You don't have to do a stamp and trim and do all of that stuff. Maybe you have a beautiful silhouette of a big heart or something, okay? But now you have one card and 3 more backgrounds. And if you do everything in assembly line, you do your stamping, you do your coloring, you do your cutting, then you're gluing and everything, and it will move along a lot faster, okay? But I don't think I'm going to make these like this. So these are going to be something different. How different? Watch my Instagram. I'm going to post what I make with the rest of these and the rest from my live video and see what we come up with, okay? So I have 9 backgrounds that I'm going to play with, and we're going to see what shows up. Until next time, my friends, I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.